to the Pastor Chira Show. I'm Pastor Chira, and today we launch. We launch into new mindset. We launch into new territory. We launch into new relationships. Are you ready to launch out with me? I want to launch out as we go into this conversation on today. And today I'm excited because he's back with me, but he's back different. And that is none other than not Minister Troy Crafton, but he went through a process not long ago, and he is now Elder Troy Crafton. Yes, I'm so excited.
As always, I'm excited to be here. It's always a pleasure to be here with my sister, Pastor Chira.
No,
praise the Lord, everybody.
No, but you went through something. You went through a whole something in the past couple months.
Trials, all that. Yep.
So what happened? What was it like? What happened?
Oh, it was amazing. I actually became, well, not became, I have been ordained as an elder in the Lord's church.
Yeah. I am so excited because it's been a long time coming.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You were announced a while ago as something else, and you were announced as the prophet, and you was like, I'll wait. But the Lord still said that he had something for you to do, and he has much more for you to do.
Yeah.
And your acceptance of that is the beginning of the process. How did you get to that part?
Well, I mean, even as, he was saying, I'll wait. But even as with David, when Samuel went to Jesse's house to anoint David, there were still things that David had to do. There were still processes. There were still trainings that David had to do to be fit for the role that he was going into.
Yes.
He didn't just get anointed and get into the role.
Oh,
they were still learning. No, they're still learning.
Nah, but I've arrived.
Well, and some people think that and they fall.
But I'm there. I've done it.
Yeah. No. There's still, listen, I could let you know who you are, but there's still things that you have to go through to prove who you are.
Who am I got to prove this to? If this is what God said, who I got to prove it to?
Well, proven in the sense of showing forth.
Who we showing though?
We're showing God, first of all.
Okay.
And then God is going to show everybody else who you are. And then that, he'll make room for you to do the things that you need to do and be who you need to be.
So it sounds like you're saying that we are, when these things happen, God gives it to us. He shows us.
Right.
But then there's a process that we have to go into for our preparation. Because sometimes even when he shows us and he tells us, we don't necessarily believe it. There are times when we're like, I don't know. Maybe I had gas that day.
Yeah, was that really you? I'm not sure. Was that really you, God?
Like, was that? And so, I mean, this process of learning, and I love what you just said about, and we're still learning.
Right.
Because there are some that, that say that, once I get what I'm supposed to get, I've arrived and there's nothing else for me to do.
Not so.
And why do you say that?
Because you're always going to be learning. Like the simple saying is, you learn something new every day.
And we do. Yes.
Anytime that you're not you're dead. Anytime that you're not learning, you're not growing.
That's right.
You put yourself in a bad place to think that anybody will put themselves in a bad place to simply think that you have arrived and you are the end all be all.
Right.
The scripture teaches us, he who thinketh himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself.
That's right.
Why put yourself in that category? Why put yourself in that light? No.
Because people want to see themselves as better or higher than somebody else. And that's not everybody.
It's not everybody.
It's not everybody. Everybody's not like that. But I think my point is that being in a learning process and always being ready to receive and always being ready to learn and always being, at that place where, no matter what, I want God, I want more of you. God, I want more of you.
I want more of you.
I want more of you. And this, where I am right now, I know that this isn't all that you have for me, in you. So I know I got to grow. I know I have other things to do. I know there are other places that you're going to take me. I know that there's more that you're going to bring out of me because I don't even know all that you've placed in me.
Right.
Before.
That's why even when we were a couple weeks ago, we were at a place to where I had the topic of I thirst. Now inside of that, you have to perpetually have that thirst. The scripture teaches us, "He that hunger and thirst after righteousness shall be filled." Now you have to always find yourself in a place, like you said, I want the more.
Yes.
I want the more. Yes. I want the more. And it's a difference in you having that thirst and, others just being greedy, wanting more, wanting more, wanting more.
Right.
That's, that's not the same thing when we say that.
Right.
But you having that thirst, just like, when the Messiah was on the cross, he said, I thirst. When you have that thirst for more, when you have that thirst and that hunger for the more of God, for the righteousness of God, to please God, you're always going to be in a place for him to fill you with something else and something else and something else, only to perpetuate you being able to give to somebody else, to give to somebody else, to give to somebody else. Yes. So that's the way it's supposed, in my opinion.
And
that's
it's
the way it's supposed to be.
And I like that because then it's also for us to change.
Yeah.
Because when we have that yearning and that thirst after God, when we are always going after him, when we are always looking to him, right? So, and he's pouring into us, he's given to us. There's no room for us to be how we were. There's no room for us to stay in that same place.
Yeah.
Because those things that were in us, they have to get out. So the things that God wants to replace and put in us, so that we are the new creatures that he is to make us.
Right.
We have to become new. We have to become new. How? We have to be born of the flesh, of the water and of the spirit.
That's right.
So that's how we become new. So we have to be cleaned with the water first, right? So here goes the water. We got to be cleaned with the water, and then we have to be filled with his spirit so that we become new creatures in him. So I am absolutely loving all of this. And I mean, because I just see God doing so much.
My Lord.
I see him doing so much. And for us to be, you talk about it all the time, you're like, my sister from Fort Memorial, like this is where we started. And, this is 20-some, 30-some years, right? And now to see what God has done and how he has gotten a lot of stuff out of us so he could fill us up.
You have to empty yourself. That's what I was thinking about when you was talking about it before. You have to empty yourself of the emptiness. This is crazy because those things of the flesh, they're empty.
Yeah.
They don't fill you. They don't satisfy you. That's why people, even one of the terms that we used before was that's why people are thirsty.
Yeah.
They're looking for that self-same gratification, that instant gratification. They're not looking for anything that's going to be perpetual. They're thirsty. They're always thirsty. They're always thirsty. You have to empty yourself of that emptiness.
That water's not going to.
Nah.
It's not going to quench your thirst.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything for you.
That water from that well, that's not what's going to do it. You got to drink of my water.
Right.
You got to drink it. You got to take me in. You got to receive me.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And I keep thinking about, because I recently did a message and I came from Psalms 42. As the deer panteth.
So my soul.
Yeah. So my soul.
Long and faster. Come on.
Woo! That is one of my favorite scriptures. That is one of my favorite songs. Like it just takes me in every time because I need and I yearn for that water, his water to fill my soul so that I can be refreshed. I can be renewed. I can be cleansed. I can be made whole because the water is what fills us. The water of him is what does it for us. I am loving every bit of this because Troy, Chira. Like, it's just funny how we get to these places but we don't forget who we are.
Right.
And I think that's important too, not forgetting who we are, where we came from, and always remembering to give honor, right, to God first and to those who helped us and birthed us along the way.
Right.
I'm so excited. I'm glad that we got this opportunity to celebrate you.
Oh, wow.
Celebrate what God is doing, what God has done, what He is continuing to do in your life and with your life, and how He's even continuing us in this segment of celebrations, biblical celebrations and feasts and truths. Y'all know that you're going to say the truths.
And truth.
Yeah. And how we have grown even in this.
Yeah.
And even in our conversations and digging into the word and looking and seeing and knowing what the whole Bible says. And, from the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Right.
So we're going to go to a commercial break.
Okay.
But on the other side, I really want to get in because this is Men's Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
And because this is Men's Health Awareness Month, you are in a career that most people don't know. We're going to talk about it in a second. You're in a career where you can really talk to men's health. So we're going to go to a commercial and we will be right back. Stay tuned. Hi, everyone. This is Pastor Chira, and I want to invite you to subscribe to the Pastor Chira Show YouTube channel because we are about to bring you exclusive footage from the 2022 Pastors and Leaders Summit. I want you to go to our YouTube channel. I want you to go to our Facebook page. I want you to go to our Instagram page. And I want you to subscribe. I want you to follow us. I want you to be with us because you don't want to miss this footage that's about to come from the Pastors and Leaders Summit 2022. I need you to do it. Go now, go now, go now. Subscribe, follow us because you're about to get vaccine footage from the Pastors and Leaders Summit. The Pastor Chira Show. Find it, like it, follow it, subscribe. I'll see you soon. We are back with Elder Troy Crafton, and he is here, and we are about to go into the other part of our conversation that I wanted to really dig into today because with this being Men's Health Awareness Month, you are actually in a profession that can kind of speak to some men's health awareness. What do you do?
Well, I am a medical assistant at Penn Medicine Hospital.
You can do that. You can do that.
At Penn Medicine Hospital, and I work with patients just to make sure that their health is in the right spot. To see what we could do to help them get better, to see what they could do to get to the right spot. So that's a little bit of what I do.
A little bit of what you do?
Just a little bit of what I do.
What made you go into medicine at all? Well, I mean, even in the beginning stages, what made you go into medicine?
I've always wanted to be a part of what made somebody else better. Ooh. And that comes full circle, kind of.
Okay.
Because it happens with me being in the medical field. It happens with me even before I did the medical field. I wanted to be a teacher.
Did you?
I wanted to be a teacher. Yep, I was going to teach music education. I was going to teach English and math.
Wow.
That's why I'm so much of a stickler with grammatics.
Yes.
However, and also inside of being in ministry.
Okay.
Getting someone to know Christ, getting someone to know God, knowing the benefits of our relationship with Him. That's all a part of what I wanted to do, being able to help somebody to be better.
So it sounds like you're talking about holistic health. You're talking about health with the whole person, with the whole body. So not just spiritual, not just physical, not just emotional, but it sounds like you're talking about making sure that those of us are all the way healthy,
Right.
not just partially healthy.
Right.
And so, with this being Men's Health Awareness Month, what have you, if anything, have you even thought about your health and how to take care of yourself better now than you did then?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You have to, one of the things that I've recognized is you have to be not just, the fact of like being in shape and going to the gym and all that kind of stuff, but you have to be heart healthy.
Mm.
If you're not heart healthy, everything else almost could kind of go out the window.
Okay.
Because your heart is what's going to keep you alive, even just about more than your mind.
Mm.
Because you could have, I don't want to say you could have a bad mind and still live right, but you could have, you could still take medications for your mind and still have a bad heart. That's just
and your heart go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you need to be just as much heart healthy.
Right.
All the way around.
All the way around.
Let's do all the way around, because if you have a lot of fatty tissue around your heart, if you have a lot of fluid around your heart, you're going to have a problem. If you have a lot of sin around your heart, if you have a lot of hatred around your heart, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's good to be heart healthy.
Yeah.
It's good to even be mentally healthy.
Yes.
Be mentally stable. When we were talking about it before, and you said it was Men's Awareness Month, and you were talking about mental health and all of that kind of things. I actually wrote down a couple different scriptures that came to mind about not necessarily mental health, because the scriptures doesn't really show specifically mental health, but when you read it, you'll see to where mental health was all around it.
Okay.
So look, one thing I want to pay attention to is 1 Kings. We have Elijah.
Yes.
Elijah was there, and it tells the story in 1 Kings 19 to where Elijah was sitting under the juniper tree. Now, I'm not going to say specifically that Elisha dealt with suicidal thought.
Because that's where he was.
Not to say that he wanted to kill himself, but you do see to where he wanted to end it all.
Yeah, he was done.
He said, God, he asked God. He didn't say that I was going to take my life. However, he was at a point in his life to where he did not want to live.
Yeah,
and he asked God, could you take me out of this?
Yes.
Take me out of this. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But when you read it, I wish we could read it. Matter of fact, 19:4. If we go down 19:4, 1 Kings 19:4, there's a whole bunch of things. There are a whole bunch of things that happened with Elijah. And when you read it, and even when y'all get a chance, pull your Bible up, make sure that you read it for yourself, so that it's going in every gate.
Yep.
It's going in your ear gate, it's going in your eye gate, and you're speaking it.
Yeah.
So when you read it, it shows. Let's do 6. What's the 6?
It says in 6. And Isaiah said, you said 1 Kings. I'm in 2 Kings. 1 Kings. There it is.
1 Kings
19 and 4.
Yeah. Well, let's go to 6. Because it really talks about to where the earthquake came, and it talks about with a fire, but go ahead.
Therefore he looked, and there by his head was this is little, was a cake baked on coals and a jar of water. There was that water again.
Water purifies. Sustenance.
Yes.
Sustenance.
So he ate and drank and lay down again. That's it. And the angel of the Lord came back the second time and touched him and said, rise and eat, because the journey is is too great for you. I'm reading it like this because it's little.
It's little, but this is what we're going to do. This is what I want you to. This is what I want you to understand. And I may have said it may be a little further up, but there's things that's going to.
It's in 4.
There's
like
things that's going to happen in your life that's going to seem as if it's trying to be louder than God.
Mm-hmm.
So it talks about where the hurricane came. It talks about, and it says that the voice of God was not in there.
Yeah.
It talks about when the fire came. And it said that God wasn't in that.
Yep.
But when he came in a still small voice, that's when you recognize who God was and what he had for you. In that still small voice was his strength. His voice was stronger than any other what could be considered natural disaster.
Right.
And those are the things that you have to pay attention to. The prophet seemingly battled with some thoughts of suicide while resting under the tree.
That's what he was.
And I wrote here that the Most High, in his life, he would that the Most High would end his life. But God said, not so. Understand that there will always be tumultuous situations.
That's right.
Loud things, boisterous things in your life, but nothing will be stronger. Nothing will be stronger than the voice of God in your life. That's the voice that you have to trust. That's what you have to. That's what you have to use to go against everything that will try to come against you.
But you know what though? We can only go with the voice that we know. If we don't know his voice,
you gotta have a relationship.
You gotta have a relationship.
You gotta have a relationship.
You have to. So I'm not gonna follow a voice that I don't know.
Right.
I'm not going to listen to somebody that I don't know. So we have to. The first thing that we have to do. He had a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
He had a relationship with him, and he knew God's voice. He knew what to follow. He knew what to do. He knew when to wait. Right. He knew when to move.
Right.
Because he knew God's voice. Because he had a relationship with him.
It's important.
And it's very important. And that's part of our health regimen.
Right.
Part of our health regimen is really having a relationship with God. And I know, I'm just going to put it out there. I know a lot of guys who have relationship. They have relationship with God. And they would say that they have a good solid one. But what do we say when we see that our relationships are just surface? Especially with men, because it's a little harder to talk to men, even on a health note. Mm-hmm. So getting men to go to the doctors, getting them to be seen, getting them to get a checkup, getting them to take medications, that's hard enough.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about getting you to read your word, getting you to pray, getting you to come to church, getting you to get a relationship with God for yourself. That's not surface. What would you say? Like, how do you reach those men on a natural and a spiritual sense?
Well, one thing you have to recognize where they are. You hear people say you have to meet people where they are.
Absolutely.
You can't talk above anybody's head. You can't browbeat anybody because they're definitely going to turn a deaf ear. I know I would.
Right, that's true.
You definitely can't.
I don't want to.
They'll turn a deaf ear to you. Mm-hmm. But you have to meet people where they are. And it's good to have conversations with people, and that's how you learn where they are so that you can meet them at their specific needs.
Yeah.
Every man does not need the same exact thing.
They don't.
Every man is not going to have the same type of conversation.
Or reaction.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not.
Or
you have to figure them out to meet them at their need.
Right.
So that once you know, Paul said, "I became all things to all men that I may win some." The beloved Paul. That's his word.
Not all.
Yeah, you have to try to meet some of them. You want to get everybody in the house.
But we know we're not going to get everybody.
Unfortunately, because hell enlarges itself every day. Every day. You just got to hope that your family isn't there and somebody, somebody else's family too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you want to reach the masses.
Right.
But if you become the friend that somebody needs, that will help their vulnerability. Because every man is not, every man is taught to be strong and just fight through. Mm-hmm. Whereas some things you have to be strong enough to fight to the doctor.
Yeah.
You have to be strong enough to even fight to the couch.
Yeah.
Because some people need, just like we talked about the mental health, some people need those conversations with the therapist. It doesn't make you crazy. It just sometimes
and it doesn't make you less of a man.
It doesn't.
It does not make you any less of a man.
It helps build you as a man. It helps
to build you as a man. Because one of the strongest things that we can say is, I need help.
And it's hard. It's hard.
It is hard. It is hard. But it is also one of our weakest moment is our strongest. Our weakest moment is our strongest. We are out of time.
Already.
How can the viewing audience get in touch with you?
Well, my email is troycrafton@hotmail.com. And it's at the bottom. It's usually at the bottom of the screen.
It'll be at the bottom of the screen.
I spell it out all the time. It's already there. troycrafton@hotmail.com. I'm always reachable there.
Yes, I am excited. I'm excited about everything that's going on with you, how God is moving and what He's doing in, with, and through your life. I'm excited about this new position that you were in, and even how God is moving in you in this position, and He's taking you even further, even in your career. I'm excited with you. I love you to life. And listen, I am here for it. I'm telling you, we have to be concerned about our men. I'm Pastor Chira. This is the Pastor Chira Show, and I will see you next week. God bless. Coming up on the Pastor Chira Show. So I guess my question is, do you want us to post it so
whatever I said?
And then you just say whatever. I know. Because I want people to know who
They listen. Those two people, what they just laid down was amazing.
The method?
Yes.
And so then I had people talk about the method of series and the fasting part. And I was like, yeah, because you turn your plate down, that's a diet. And she was like, no, but when you turn your plate down, no, you're focused on Him, because we have to consecrate. And that, when she said the word consecrate, that's it.
That's a cuss word in the church. Consecrate. Listen, consecrate is a cuss word.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer is a cuss word.